Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, a linked heroes game. Last episode, Data traveled back in the past to save the Maku Tree. He managed to do that, and when he returned to the present, the Maku Tree was back, because he managed to save her in the past. And the Maku Tree said that, hey, you're gonna have to gather the 8 Essences of Time to combat Varen, the Sorceress of Shadows. And she sends the first essence over here in the graveyard. She gave us this seed satchel with a bunch of ember seeds that we can use to burn down the trees that were blocking our way. But the ember seeds will not be able to burn down that fence. We're gonna have to go look for a key. No way, it's too scary. It's pitch black inside that grave beneath the tree. Shut up, it's no good if you get scared. Besides, it might come out. The ghost. And the kids run off. Well, we're not worried. We're not scared of the dark because Data has these ember seeds that could be used to light torches. Just gonna head over here and burn the tree on the south. That gets us to a hidden grave. This is the room those kids were talking about. It's pitch black, but lights up a little bit once you light up one torch. When you light up the second torch, a key drops down. The graveyard key. We'll use that to open up that gate that we ran into earlier. What is beyond the gate? I have a whole bunch of, I see I have all those rupees there. When I was farming all those rupees between the episodes, I ended up killing a bunch of enemies, because when you dig on the ground, sometimes like snakes or spiders come out. I managed to defeat a whole bunch of them as they popped out. And that summoned Maple, the witch that flies around the broom. And Maple's, I guess, master, Syrup, that's her hut up there. We can't reach it though because we can't swim yet. Maple will be once again involved in the trading sequence game. When she ran into her the first time there, off-screen, she basically said that she's looking for a book. In Oracle of Seasons, she was looking for the Lon egg. This one now, she's looking for a book, so we'll get that book eventually later in the trading sequence, but it'll be a while. We'll be able to start this trading sequence after this dungeon. Compass. This dungeon, being the first dungeon, isn't that hard. They basically just introduce you to some puzzles, but the puzzles are very simple to solve. Simple little block pushing puzzles. We saw another one there with it looked like a dice. It has a red face, a blue face, and a yellow face. And there'll be more devious as we advance in dungeons. But this first one right now, it's just a simple one. All you had to do was push the block up a few squares, and it falls right into place. The blue color matches the blue lanterns there, and so that opens the door. Other times you have to push the block around a whole bunch of different ways around the room to get it to be the proper face. But yeah, they just make it really easy for the first time. Ease you into the puzzles. Just like the enemies here are basically easing us into, enemies in the dungeon. These pretty easy blobs, skeletons that we'll get future skeletons that throw bones or jump on you. These ones just walk around. And with that green ring that we have from the ring transfer, we can defeat a lot of these enemies in just one hit. Like those red jellies. Usually hit them and they split into 2 smaller jellies, but with the green ring it increases the sword damage by a little bit and able to take them out in one hit. Stout folks usually also take 2 hits, but with the green ring you only need 1. It's got a little bit better defense thanks to the green ring. Let's just wander around here, take out the bats. You see a lot of pots. And, we saw there was that heart piece in the graveyard that was blocked by a rock. There was also the ghost at that one grave who was blocked behind a rock. So a lot of stuff we have to move, so it kind of gives you a clue that what the item in this dungeon is going to be. It's going to be the power bracelet, which will allow us to move those rocks and collect those treasures, talk to that ghost. So you can collect treasure. We're going to hit the button on the other side here, cause this treasure chest to appear, and allows us to get a second small key. I'm just going to do a little bit of backtracking and put these 2 keys to use. Not that way, Data. This way. Let's head on up. And you don't have to do what I'm about to do here, but since I'm 100%ing the game, I'm gonna go over this way just to collect a treasure chest. We hit this button, a treasure chest will appear, and it doesn't contain a key or anything important, it's just a gacha seed. We'll eventually want to plant that. I won't be collecting the gacha seeds that I plant, except for when I get to at least the level 4 tree, because that one's the one that can give you a heart container. I'll just be planting gacha seeds though, and all over the place to hit all the different locations, but like I said, I won't be harvesting them. But we'll be taking on this first mini-boss. Just a ghost. Guess it makes sense being that we're in a grave tomb. We're not doing very well, but you can destroy the little mini-ghosts, and they just act like those little blobs. They jump on you and they impede your movement. They don't hurt you, but they make you slow down and make you an easier target for the big ghost to ram into you. I was gonna say run, ram. I think of Mickey Rourke, the Ram Jammin', the wrestler. I had a lot of friends star in that movie because the pro wrestling school, the Wild Snowman Training Center that I went to, they actually trained Mickey Rourke for that performance. So, good movie, check it out. Right now though, we're going to check things out by lighting these torches. And that takes us down to the item of the dungeon, the power bracelet. I'm going to basically backtrack now to the beginning of the dungeon, because on the way back to the beginning of the dungeon is the boss key. And the backtrack ain't too bad here, because that warp, whenever you beat a mini boss, most of the time a warp will appear. Well, a warp will always appear. Most of the time though, the warp will take you right to the entrance of the dungeon. So we're going to walk to the entrance of the dungeon, which is just one screen over to the right. We didn't bother going over this way before because there's nothing we can do without the power bracelet. You can't move those pots, and our sword doesn't break them yet. We need the level 2 sword for that. We can take the warp back here, and now we can just head to the boss, which is a few rooms to the north here. Actually, just this one room to the north, and then one to the east. Let's just take out these ceiling masters, I guess you'd call them. Or a variation of the wall masters in the original Legend of Zelda, called wall masters because they crawl out of the wall, but these ones come just right out of the ceiling. Add a little bit more challenge, I guess, because the wall ones would only appear when you touch the wall. And here's our first boss. Now, real quickly, when that head first came down, you saw that little ghost there. That's your little clue. That's the actual boss. So this is kind of like the genie in Link's Awakening, the second boss, where you had to basically pick up its pot, throw it, smash the pot, and then you could attack the genie once the pot was destroyed. This guy, you basically have to hit the body until the head falls, throw the head away, and then that exposes the ghost. Then you hit the ghost a few times and defeat it, and you get access to the first Essence of Time. And that'll help restore some of the Maku Tree's memory. And she will give us a clue on where the next essence is. Let's see what she has to say. It's me, the Maku Tree. I hear an essence echoing in the western woods. Can you go there? Yes, I can. Thanks to the power bracelet, I actually can go there. Yeah, and here's Maple. Once again, you run into her, she drops stuff. Like I said, eventually she will drop a piece of heart. There's only 2 random heart pieces. The one that you get from a Gasha tree, and then one that you get from Maple. Maple can drop at any time. The Gasha seed one you can only get when you plant in a level 4 soil, 4 or 5 soil. Somebody finally came. The stone path blocks my path to the afterlife. I'm actually below here, right? I'd really appreciate it if you could help me out. So I'm gonna push this tombstone, and that'll free the ghost. You must have moved my headstone. That means I can move onto the afterworld. My heart lifts at the thought of it. Thanks. And let's head on up. And he's still waiting here. You came out. Since I'm moving on, I don't need this anymore. Take it. I hope you can reach the afterworld soon too. Well, I hope Data doesn't have to reach the afterworld soon, because we need him to do a lot of adventuring here. Speaking of ghosts, we just spoke with one ghost. We're about to talk with another ghost right here. Since this is a linked game, we have a ghost here. Hello there. Do you believe what you see? If you do, I'll teach you something. Do you? Yes. In Holodrome's graveyard, there's but one grave with no flowers. If you tell the one inside the grave the secret I'm about to tell you, something good will happen. Understand? Yes. So once again, I will have to go back to Oracle of Seasons, and I'll input the secret. I'll go find the graveyard and find the grave without flowers, and go find the ghost within and give him that secret. And then that ghost will give me a secret that I can transfer back over to Ages here to get whatever that ghost will give me. I need a map. I went the wrong way again. I need to get this piece of heart over here. Pick it up and chuck it. And that's 3 or 4. Now let's head back to Lina City. We can take a quick talk with the Maku Tree. Maku Tree will just repeat what she said earlier. But if you're ever in doubt of where to go, the Maku Tree is always a good person to go to. Kind of like Hilda the princess in Final Fantasy II. There was, she basically gave you missions. So you can check out that playthrough if you like Final Fantasy. It's on my channel as well. Let's refill our Ember Seeds. Always good to. Okay, so the first bag is only 20. 20, 50, then 99. I thought it was 30. I hear an essence echoing in the western woods. Can you go check it out? Alrighty, but be sure to come back. You don't want to lose us. So let's head over to the western woods that we can now enter. If we tried to go over there earlier, there was a stone blocking the way. But stones mean nothing when you have the power bracelet. So let's head over to the west. Get our bracelet on. And lift that rock. Symmetry City, Lina City. Oh, there's another city up this way, but we can't reach it. The bridge is out, and the control to open the bridge is blocked behind a tree. I'm so hungry, my stomach hurts. Ah, I'm hungry. Pardon me. I just thought you could help. Maybe. Later. And we actually will help him. He's part of the trading sequence. Back later. Just down, it's like a Star Wars where Princess Leia's like, find the controls to extend the bridge. And Luke's like, I think I just blasted them. They're coming through. And he's like swinging the Death Star. And a New Hope. Alright. Let's hope we can find this essence over here. Unfortunately, things are never easy for Data. So there's a cave there. I think the essence would be in there. And you'd be sort of right. It's in there, but we won't be able to access it now. Because like I said, nothing's ever easy. Ah, this screen is repeating itself. Yeah, the forest is all out of order. And it's because of these fairies. This is our playground. Won't you play hide and seek? Well, unfortunately, we're forced to play hide and seek. If you can't find the three of us, you can't go on. We'll hide, so you try to find us. Now, the fairies are going to show where they hide, but the real trick is, because they messed the forest up, it isn't laid out like it should be, so you just kind of got to trial and error, wandering around, and hopefully get to the screens. So let's go wander around. Since I did this earlier, in a previous playthrough with Maverick, I know where to go a little bit better. So I go north, south, north, find this rock, and I find the blue fairy. Dang, but there are still two more. Yepper. And the second one we can find by just heading 2 screens to the west here. West. West. And we saw one of the fairies hide in the bushes down to the south there. Let's chop down all the bushes. There's the red fairy. You found me. But the last one is hardest. Alright. As you can see, it's all messed up. If you try to leave, you'll just have to restart the game again. So if you have the option to quit, don't. Head back to the center tree, go north, east, south, and there's the last fairy, the yellow fairy. What, you found a song? You're good, mister. And they're going to put the forest back in order now. Ah, you found a song, okay. We won't tease you anymore. We'll put the forest back in order. So now all I have to do is go to the right, and that'll take us to where the dungeon was, that cave. That's fun, let's play again sometime. But I'm just going to just do a quick exploration of the forest. Kind of show it off. So yeah, it's all back in order. We saw the forest screens, but just not in the proper order. So we'll see what the proper order is. Get that treasure much later in the game. We can swim. Here's the red fairy. Let's play again sometime. No, let's not. Here's the yellow fairy. Maybe I'll tease you again. Well, they won't tease us, but they will tease somebody else eventually. Let's chop down the bushes. South, and here's the blue fairy. Back to the center tree. You won't find us next time. And now we head over, and what's this? The ancient cave, beware, crumbles easily. As soon as we pick up the rock, well, that sign came true. Because the cave collapsed, and there's no way to get in now. At least in the present. Or maybe we can find a way in the past. Data, are you alright? Now you can't get inside. The rock you blasted was a support stone that held up the cave. Too bad Naru can't give us some advice. Maybe there's something in Naru's house that can help. Why don't you go look? Well, we know where Naru's house is, that's where Impa went. So we're gonna make our way to Naru's house. Which will be just enough time to... It will take just enough time for us to finish this episode off. So you have a good ending point. And that's a little... I will start, though, the next episode, though, not now in Naru's house, but I'll start back in Holodrum to turn in that secret. Here we got it. See what reward we get. So Naru's house is just over to the right. Without Naru's songs, I can't jump in rhythm. Where is Naru gone to? Naru's gone, so there are no more songs. Maybe you invent a radio in Hyrule. But here is Naru's house, so let's step on inside. We'll talk with Impa and see if she has anything to say, like I said, in the next episode. So take care, have a good one. See you in the next episode and back in Holodrum. Bye.